The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Shines eternal!
Stabilize!
This may hurt a little. Cross over!
Berpetualang. Oh, bro.
Consciousness had been trapped by the so much time has already passed since then. Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahida won't have any more new Yeah, guess you're right. But somehow, come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and anyway, for Nahida's sake, maybe we—
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually— but never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission. That's when I saw you two all the way over there. Chatting away. Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort—
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert. So, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there—
Missy Grace Garcia.
I see. Guess you won't be needing a— though—
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida? Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the—
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
Udah nyampe ay. Akhirnya loh, map baru.
With the wind.
Gue baru tahu nih ini apa.
I see everything. See? Go. After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine. Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine!
Ini Fontaine lebih maju dibandingkan Meru, bangsat.
Extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines! Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do! What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique... To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist.
Excuse me. Can I help you too? I couldn't help but notice you.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem...
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that...
Really? Like, a real trial? But the...
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story be... Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that?
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste them. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice,
You're a trees? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon's cute. Wait, Paimon almost forgot...
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House.
Huh. I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have...
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you...
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get an...
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is...
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could...
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should...
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Alright! I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the up, but who knows how long making an appointment will take. Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
Terus suara air terjunnya bacok banget anjing.
Hello there.
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just...
About many things, actually. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play.
You're pointing at the sea. Wait,
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my... He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. But now, the water... It won't be long before it swallows up.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
oh, and you...
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she...
I see.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's where to begin. Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally...
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of...
Oh. All right, then. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House. Please, follow me.
Tampang-tampang penipu anjing. Bangsat. Harusnya ini nih jadi building man, malah build. Bagus ini desain. By the way, mic gue
You
jauh
said
nih
you
dari
were
gue.
going to see Lady
Gue pengen
Farina?
nyantai aja.
Well, it seems Lady Farina...
Oh, what? Shit!
So, she's the Hydro Archon?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro, and acknowledge...
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and... You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony...
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. Wait, does
Belum
this
lihat
name
tanah
bear
ini.
the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see her. Oh,
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to... You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between my...
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
Ih, bacot anjing. Gue ngurusin Zhongli anjing.
Provoking a god in front of her.
Gue ngurusin Zhongli, si Morak, si tua yang nggak jelas anjing.
Stand down, Clorend. I admire
Bangsat.
her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god.
Ini orang
She
butuh
is
ngeliat
obviously
tanah
a
anjir.
true warrior. Unfortunately,
Kalau nggak salah dia ada
people
dua
now-
pribadi, tapi
yeah, she's right. Just a duel
kan gue
would be all that
jatuhin ke
interesting.
tanahnya biar ngeliat tanah si bangsat.
On Aranias, criminals are all...
You see. Then, as the god of justice...
Right, this is Fontaine after...
What do you
Dia
care so
apaan
much about
anjing,
the
Anubis?
god's reactions? Besides,
Tai.
how you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have,
What's that?
according to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits.
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that?
Precisely. Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
Wih, gue dengan senang
My
hati buat
apologies,
nyopot
Lady Farina.
matanya anjing
I don't
satu
mean to spoil the
buat
fun,
koleksi, lumayan tuh
but if
bagus
you'd
tuh.
allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy!
You tell her.
Anyone...
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I so.
Seru nih anjing, gua
with
habis
such
nonton
an
One Piece
audience
soalnya, anjir.
gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
What is that?
Ta-da!
What? What's that on Paimon's back? Hey! When did you do that?
Ini apa nih?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the travel.
Huh? You call that?
Huh? I'm not sure what to think.
Amusing.
Wait.
Very
Purina ini bukan
amusing,
Archon
Linny.
real
Just
atau
the
gimana
sort
sih?
of unexpected twist that
Archon
I enjoy.
generasi kedua
With
nih.
you here,
Performance?
Kayak si A.
in which case, consider that but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming
Anjing gue gak
performance
kebayang
at
si
the
Zhongli
Opera
kalau
House.
dihukumnya gimana. Ngeteh doang aja kayaknya di penjara anjing. Ah ini lumayan seru sih. Lumayan seru. Capek buat main di game anjing. Tai dong.
And just like that, she's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. He never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation. Just so. Now do you see what kind of god Lady for...
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in
Okay.
Isn't the Opera House where...
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. And speaking
Gue mau
of
jauhin mic dulu lah, gue mau
I would
nyantai.
be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I...
My brother's always excited.
Oh, sure. We don't really have...
Splendid. In that case, why don't... You really mean... This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you...
Oh.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophet... It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned.
Buat ini kayak mirip mapnya ini One Piece yang Seven Water apa gitu.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
The fuck up.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the... Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be...
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least as a magical item, the
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day!
perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a
Absolute.
catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you...
What's this? Ah, so you also believe in the prophecy.
What? You mean you don't believe in the...
No, I believe in the prophecy. But the story says that people once lived in the ocean. As time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within them. So, if you ask me,
Oh, we hadn't heard that one.
Karena untaku itu
all right, I'll
dari
take
air
it.
sendiri.
I guess
So you're the blonde... Oh, a magic pocket? Seems you really thought of everything. Thanks. Oh,
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, life is all about...
You should still take it.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that... If I start...
ya buat
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, what did people have to say? Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes.
Is there anything else you need to do before...
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out in a...
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look...
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some Romaritime flowers.
It seems we have to use Hydro to collect Romaritime flowers.
Who's our target this time? Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting it. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
No way. I'm in power saving mode today.
Fine. Though the perform...
So, we're going to the court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House?
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong?
She's obviously a thief. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We watch her movements carefully.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps you two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll... All right, let...
Nah, Fontaine lebih maju dibandingkan Sumeru yang dimana semuanya banyak-banyak akademi. Belajar.
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her? Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also be trying to... Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, what?
Are you sure that's all she took?
No, that was all. Anyway, I should...
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground. By the
I saw the general direction she went.
Oh,
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if...
You're up. I have to admit that the thief was even more... But at least we were able to get the stolen items back.
what a slippery little thief!
All right. Look...
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around!
This is an aqua bus. It allows people to travel between... It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same.
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm riding with you?
No, that's not what I meant. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip.
like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
Huh?
What? Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte!
Oh, I never guessed I'd bump into you while riding the Aquabus. In the story of my life, this is big news. What are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a...
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on the move. It's not surprising, though we still have...
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I would recognize the great magician Linny and his assistant Lin. I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such an unfamiliar place. So, what have you been up to lately, Charlotte?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mean, you could still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. You're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that... Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of... You mean the serial disappearances of young women case? That's right! These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen. If I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird, oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed.
So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace. But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found. Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation. I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Linny.
Hey, we're almost there! Look! Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of plus. Yeah, us as well. I have an interview to get to. Okay. Bye now. Oh, be sure. What a tough job. Always running around and interviewing everyone.
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides, I still...
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city...
Kok nggak lihat? Oh, iya.
Take it easy.
Campuran gitu.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else...
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal...
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just... Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets.
Yes, I went
That's our Fremine. Oh...
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and...
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that it said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play... Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then... Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps... It rained for longer than I suspected.
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. On the day of the performance, just ride the aquabus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you.
Oh, are you...
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pocket. Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted. And the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine...
No trouble at all?
sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no need, no need.
Wih, anjing.
Help.
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh, no, we're just here to deliver some materials.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. No need. They've already prepaid their, but they insisted on paying the full amount.
Wow. So,
I can't say for sure, but who knows?
hey, is this machine what you use to make stuff?
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology.
But where does a big machine like that get its power?
Ah, well, it's a little, but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium.
Huh? How can
Well, I'm not completely. When a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all
Is she
around
speak
Fontaine.
France? Is she speak France? Swag.
Paimon heard that the Oratrice was
Fuck.
created by the Archon to make judgments, but Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like... Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before.
She
Besides,
speaks
it isn't
France.
produced.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day
Tuh, apa nih?
away. Since
Malah
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh? You...
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already...
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle
Killed
your
it.
own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of more.
Ah, you're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Bentar gemut. Tes. Okay.
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Hey, you, Northland Bank.
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for...
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs? Listen to me, boy. If you want your Mora, fine.
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said,
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has...
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
Gue kira bakal jadi scene anjing.
Shouldn't let your guard down. No time to lose.
Dari mana nih orang dapat?
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland?
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them.
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? And don't say it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? What?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself, but recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know.
Maybe you losing...
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us.
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental power. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? So why don't you just go ask your master?
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching, but it's been years now, and I've still...
Oh.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official
champion duelists?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight, so engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused.
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of... Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with. Which is exactly why I was itching to... Apparently the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed... Well, seems we don't have much to do. Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story... sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light... It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered. Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next... hey. Lenny said that the opera house is on Aranias, so let's go right now.
Jalan gue belum jadi lagi build-nya bangsat. Gimana sih? Ikutin ini. Ikutin jejak digital. Oh itu, to live ya. Bener, I live bangsat. Gue kira kayak apa ya? Film-film apa? Boy. Oh. Hey. Stasiun. Dah. Sabar. Oh, untungnya. Nah, gini kayak anjing gue bisa manjat-manjat kayak orang unobet bangsat. Welcome to Fontaine. Kayaknya ini tinggi banget. Oh. Tinggian ternyata. Tapi gue mau unlock ini dulu lah. Banyak fury, cuy. What the heck? Shit, anjing, banyak banget waypointnya. Oh, waypointnya banyak abis. Gelo. Oke. Apa ini ngeberkahin arcon itu anjir? Apa ini? Nyari gua. Oh, suruh nyari kayak ginian. Terus dapat gitu. Oh, ini yang ngelahkan nemesis, ngelahkan. Dengan senang hati untuk membantai mereka semua. Anjing, sisa waktu 11 hari, bangsat. Oke, baik. Kalau gue mau enjoy dulu story anjing. Lantai 3 berarti. Huh? What the fuck is that?
Welcome to the Navia line. I am Elfan. The boat will be departing imminently. Please do not stick your head, hands, or other body parts outside the boat.
The Aquabus operator is not responsible for any accidents or injuries resulting from doing so. Also, please remember to buy the Steambird, though I don't read it myself.
Hey. Okay.
The destination of the current tour is Erinias. Points of interest worth visiting include the Fountain of Lucine and the Opera Epiclese. If you look to the left in the direction we are currently traveling, you will see the famous Fontaine Research Institute up in the sky.
Kenapa itu jatuh?
Experiment gone wrong turned new sightseeing
Kenapa itu rusak semua?
Human ingenuity truly is a wondrous thing.
Oh, kalau nggak tuh si duo itu kan ya arenanya ya, gara-gara liker-liker babi itu loh. Oke. Yo, talk again, man. Kasih lagu atau apa, Ge? Ini ada lagu banget nih game. Musik 10 loh, blood.
We are now approaching our final destination. Please be sure to bring all your personal belongings with you as you disembark.
Okay.
Even though I will take any forgotten items to the lost and found, the paperwork is rather annoying as magazine hands are not suitable for
Merci. Okay, merci.
Please be careful when disembarking.
Merci.
It has been my honor to be your tour guide this trip.
Yeah,
Thank you.
merci. Sebagai pengunjung ternyata kudu suruh lompat gini ya. Kalau kayak orang biasa kayak basah. Woi. Give me all your money.
Take it easy.
Ini apa sih? Gambar ini. Are you area yang penuh merciote? What? Karena kita traveler, kita sabar waypoint dulu. Karena kita traveler, jadilah seorang traveler. What the heck? Oh, Naruhodo. Kenapa sih flower malah muncul terus di mana-mana anjing? Like what the fuck? You kidding me? Kayaknya gue gak bakal ada damage.
Quietly now.
Juga setelah menyelesaikan quest mengumpulkan material. Oh, ditandain tuh sekarang ya. Oh, biar gampang ya. Naruhodo. Oke. Gue mau kesini. Gue pengen tahu musuhnya kayak gimana.
Solidify.
Everyone hold hands.
Aku nggak ada dengan hidup. Oke. Ini apaan? Terbukanya gimana? Hah? Gini. Gue gak ngerti. Ini lumayan segera banget nih pemandangannya.
Gather!
I see everything.
Another test subject.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
You're open.
This isn't good.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Oh, what a cute treasure coffin. Go!
Hah? Eh? Batu baru. Condensance crystal, anjing, itu kristal dari ini anjing, Honkai Impact bangsat. Game purba.
Take it easy.
Kayaknya ini belum ada tutorialnya tuh, gimana dah. Ada doggy.
Take it easy.
Solidify!
Kenapa ini pernah halakord?
Everyone hold hands.
Quietly now.
See? Time to go.
Udah nyampe, cok. Stuck di turun.
If we bury it, maybe it'll spring back to life.
Tuh jauh, cok. Bisa berenang ya? Oh, jadi ini toh. Shit. Cara Hai. Ini bakalan nyusahin sih. Anjing, ini lebih bagus tapi penggambarannya. Gue pengen tahu kalau ini gue habis apa yang terjadi. Kayaknya nggak usah. Kita mulai. Wah, ini bagus nih anjing. Ada. gini kayak anjir. Kelihatan gitu loh bro, bagian bawah tanahnya. Oh ini bawah tanahnya itu. Oh selagi gue sini mending gue jelajahin bawah laut ya kan. Aku suka menjelajah. Gue pengen tahu nih kalau gimana nih maksudnya. Oh ini. Bukan tuh bosnya. Tingkatan. Ah ini nih. Karena sudah ada gigi yang muncul di bawah sistem energi memiliki 3 jenis ciri khas energi status. Dan kondisi normal status minimum merupakan status. Hah? Oh, iya kah? Hah? I don't get it. Ini karena level ini gue nggak apa gimana deh? Gak mempan sama sekali bro. Gue dapat lah. Serap kemampuan sini. Oh ini. Udah gue serap nih. Oh, naruto. Kayaknya itu nggak mencukup deh. Ntar lah gue cari tutorialnya lah. Hehehe. Wah, page. Don't fight with me, blood. Coba baca lagi. Coba aku balik lagi. The heck? Tadi nggak bisa loh, what the fuck? Nah, apa sih? Kudu bareng gitu. Nah, oke. Mekaniknya baru tahu. Kudu diserang barengan. Oke, ada Dendroculus, biarin dah. Kudu diserang barengan. Naruhodo. Oke. Gue jauh nggak? Ini harusnya di air nggak ngambil dong nggak sih? Apa ini? Shit. Okay. Oh, itu yang buat nge-heal ikan-ikannya. Dah. Nah, itu apaan? Oke, sebelum masuk ke black hole, ini dulu nih. Hello? Oh shit. Lol. Apa sih ini? Kalau energi yang dihasilkan oleh alam atau manusia terbagi menjadi dan dikumpulkan saat normal. I don't wanna reading those all that. Oh. Oh. Diapain sih? Warnanya suruh disesuaiin. Coba. Shit, what the fuck? Ini ngebukanya gimana deh? Oh, macam seal anjing. Gue mau exploring dulu. Hello, bye. Laut. Oke. Apa? Oh. Oh. Nanti. What the fuck?
Easy money.
Hah? Nyari apa? Oh. Nyari apaan? Stay calm, bro. Nah ini nih, gue butuh ini nih anjing. Ini tube power. Banyak banget hydropis. Nggak usah. Aduh cuk, woi. Oke. Apa ini? Timbang ini arena quest. Kayaknya itu mirip arena quest. Oh, di dalam lagi anjing. Oke, udah tuh, pulangan dalam airnya udah. Hah?
Take it easy.
Apa sih maksudnya anjing? Pokoknya itu lah ya. Lanjut deh. Ini lagi loh.
Take it easy. Gotcha.
I see everything.
Busted.
Oh, I think it's unlimited. Unlimited. Okay. Duh.
of people stand.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much.
I guess if there are, kid, then there's no...
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing.
Lynette, you scared Paimon. When did you get here?
Lenny asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Right.
What do you mean? There are...
Hey, you're not...
I see. In fact...
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element?
But when do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what?
Just answer me.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh,
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense... Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all... So maybe what you heard was the intense...
So, what did the voice say?
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about... Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Take it easy.
Gather!
Hey!
Gotcha. Game's up. Time's over.
Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Stabilize!
Phew! I see everything.
Take it easy.
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you. I knew...
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world!
I can tell, but you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started. The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seat.
Ooh, front row seat.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. Oh, these should be our seats. Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Ah, you little...
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did wait, that's not it, Paimon's. Sorry, Paimon's the one who was oh, Paimon's got it. You're all...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny, then. Oh, this is getting more awkward. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact...
Wait, Nervillet? Could he...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seats. And by the way, I should probably let you know, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a... I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly... Oh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, Two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on... Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes...
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything! Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared.
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprise. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But in which case, I have ample time to make all necessary. So, for my next trick, I will require the Please, if my assistants could... There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed. Our lucky audience member and I will each... Now please, everyone pay very close...
Wow! How's Say, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside them. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully... You don't need to do anything, but no matter what, if the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up.
Oh.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep count. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying... Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be...
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Come on, repeat after me.
60! 59! 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going.
54, 53, 52. Why aren't you counting, Neverlet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just in...
Oh! Alright. You look so serious that Paimon...
40! 39! 38! Mr. Lenny, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direct... It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't...
25! What's wrong, Mr. Lenny? I can still hear you moving.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect.
19! 18! 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do so. 10 seconds and change is still...
10!
Almost there now.
8!
Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? Nope, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
What happened? Huh? Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box.
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this...
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finesse. I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after. Now that I think about it.
That can't be right. He was in the box on the stage the entire time. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina.
Huh? I just think that he. Well, I think it might be.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like
a kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show.
I mean, of course, my dear people. That's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are so no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed. Well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, are you willing to act as Mr. Linny's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Linny and his troupe are all potential suspects. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly...
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big-shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time.
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just...
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like...
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, even a skilled and knowledgeable magician—
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette!
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's a good thing you agreed.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did...
Ah, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured, but if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be we should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime...
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid...
Huh? What?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as... As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a... If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of...
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just no. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well before. Whoever the murderer was, why would it be him? How strange. Hello there. What are you...
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the magic troupe members are The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for it. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some The magic troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact me. It is of utmost importance that we...
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out that... an issue with the rent.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the what? The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit is made from... Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something like... Wait! Why would you write all this...
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new and interesting leads...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first?
The thud?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath. I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping and when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon, though.
Linny's still talking to the guards. It seems I think someone will be assigned. Linny's still talking to the... I think someone...
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a...
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melouche, Demoiselles...
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? that?
Well, I am the second generation.
My apologies, demoiselle. Should you...
No need. You don't have to come.
Okay, if you say...
All merely trifling. That's right. I've always judging from the look of things.
Really? We think so too. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges.
Sounds more like you.
Well, what's your opinion? All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute. Did that answer?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's
well?
And why would that be? See, Silverin?
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that, demoiselles, you wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are...
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us...
Oke, kalian dengan
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so were you always guarding?
Yes, after the chief. So the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, I doubt there was.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here. But still, we Melusines are good at.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through. All right, thank you for your help. This will be useful in... We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is...
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived.
Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the
The back? You mean the...
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were... The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the...
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be...
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow,
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the... And then I walk out, but as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you... And yet, to think that someone was able... Could we have a look around? I think we...
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting.
Holy. Holy!
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which...
What? Oh! Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water and here's a broken vase.
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish.
Let's note this.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from. Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that? If you're kidding. Ugh. This is so What is this place?
It seems someone could fit.
Could this have been the...
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
Apologies for the wait,
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance.
So the tunnel's become like a secret chamber.
The plot thickens. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some...
Charges and then trial. So if
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice... That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be... To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will. And as a judge...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? I'm unbuttoned.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have... yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the...
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That's it.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding! Paimon will still do her best, even...
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll...
Huh? Here?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever...
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven! Oh, it's even better now. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking part, but you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself! Beating the egg whites...
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just...
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just... Anyway, give these a try.
Only through...
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
Tea is ready to be served as well. No need for concern.
All right, then. Down to business. As Paimon, however, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. The magician twins...
Exactly! Why would they do
the flower vase and the thud, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction? Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the...
Paimon thinks guess that makes sense, but the real trouble...
True. None of the clues we found, but the only people left to consider are both tech...
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props? And...
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, nor does she have any motive. The guards...
Well, wait, from the sound of things, this is turning in... Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia.
They are my...
What? 5?
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less...
No. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too... Wait. Even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons...
All right, we get it. Well, Malus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons of...
Exactly. We don't want to...
As you wish,
And I have the egg, sugar, and almond.
What?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As a turn, it would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right. Thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got... The whole situation is so good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so...
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during... Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why did...
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own attorney.
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in...
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, This is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many—
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details since the truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear your answer.
Of course. I'll answer any— We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a conscience. During our investigations, we learned that the machine— From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 6. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and
that air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute—
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice, which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the— That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save—
So, there you have it. The whole truth. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mist, but like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's—
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a— Huh?
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the event.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Anjing, malah jadi arsitektur nih. Anjing bangsat. Wah, bangsat.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey. He did not realize that this— Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, so Linny proceeded to knock afterward. Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box. And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
Anjing. Oh, bisa gini.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He could... Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's
Salah pencet aja ternyata.
This is the actual truth.
Untung ya, malas banget. Pengen santai gitu loh.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete finally, he reached the surface. And that was when the accident happened from his point.
Okay.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually...
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case.
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed...
Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Could there have been a third person involved? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or could there have been a third? The deceased's name is Cowell.
Huh? That can't be right. The killer was, in fact, Cowell!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from... No one entered or left the opera house through its... It would have been tough for both people to fit into... No one entered or left the The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or left the opera house through it. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where... It would have been tough for both... The sound we heard may have come from a... Halsey's clothing was... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was... No one entered or left... Halsey's clothing...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you...
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here...
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the...
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of the... And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come... The deceased's name is Cal... The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover... It would have been tough for both people. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must... The vase was not broken.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared and Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes. If there's a similar method...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
But even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if... Since Cal was the deceased, we have... But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as such. We believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving...
Could something so ridiculous actually...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but...
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide... Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has... Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case is...
Right! Like the metal hook! That would... Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that... What?
The deceased's name... It seems like the hook rope. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before... Lynette was in the magic box on stage. Now it seems like the hook rope. The rope that strung the... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was some... The deceased's name is... The water from the primordial... Lynette was in the magic box on... The rope that strung the The water from the primordial... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was some... The deceased's name is... I remember there was some... The deceased's name is... Lynette was in the magic... The water from the primordial... I remember there was some... The deceased's name is...
In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is his notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the—
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to— Does this not clear? My dear citizens, Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman, having made modifications to the props but upon his ultimately, he knocked. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously— Am I right, Mr. Lin?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way— Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon seems using the water.
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have I believe this is indeed the Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your
Excuse me, everyone, but
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a— I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. What in the world is she—
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my—
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often once everyone believes the illusion. Can't magic reveal the truth to them once? And what is such a trick? Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't, but as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final—
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole—
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my— I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on— I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate—
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell.
What?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought, so I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costume. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I I may be a thief, but I'm...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story. The strange... The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell. Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the... She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that...
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from... With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be... To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after... He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the... Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said... When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the Opera House, and was thus... From this reconstruction of events, we can...
Hooray, Linny and Lynette! Amazing!
While there is much in Linny and Lilianne's conduct that should still be investigated, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partner.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation. How did you find the water from the primordial sea?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that...
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just we were supposed to place blame for this.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to set. Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes! I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, we've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were all...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering... Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. I took my sister through several streets until we found a... To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and—
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Take it easy.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for— And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro—
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are— Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spread. Sorry about that. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time.
Huh? Do we really need to get that form?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important— Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm if possible.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine?
All right then, let's have our farewell.
Untung aja.
Take it easy.
Solidify!
Share my knowledge! Grow!
I will have order!
Quietly now.
Stabilize!
Here comes the catch.
Time to go!
Lu nggak salah, bro. Yang salah adalah orang yang minta duit. Gue minta duit, itu susah kali sih. Anjing! Zongle. Ini 50 ya. Riwayat itu gimana? Oh. Film itu. Esta apa-apa hair. Esta apa-apa hair.
Ad Astra